You're listening to Nick DiPaolo on the Riotcast Network, riotcast.com.
Well, hello, everybody. Yeah, Tuesday. How you doing out there? I put on these headphones from this bay, and I should have went with the ones I've been using. The ones without the maggots in the ear holes. I mean, whose head have these been on? Anything worse than going into that men's room and sitting on the toilet and it's already warm from the guy before you? Jesus H. Christ, is that gross. I'd rather dump right in the lobby of Sirius behind the counter with the security people and have everybody watch me than sit on a toilet that's been pre-warmed. By God, no. Kathy Griffin probably sat on it 10 years ago. What? Oh, she's in the news. I'll get to her in a few minutes. A fucking idiot. How are you? Good? Good. Yeah, it's just in the men's room. First of all, it smells like a fucking lion's cage in there, and I'd love to go in there once where they're on 11 pair of fucking feet taking the dump same time as me. It's like a contest in there. I thought I heard a gun go off before I farted. It's you ever take a dump in the you know what, in JFK International?
Yes.
International men's. That's good. You get 19 different foods from 19 different countries being digested. Guy from Chile next to me trying to push out something he had to anyway. How you doing, kids? Pretty good. I want to thank, of course, a couple of people who support my podcast, Brandon Lowe and Kevin Ford, a couple of regulars. Thank you guys for contributing. The dickhead who puts up this show on YouTube is still doing it unauthorized, so I have notified the authorities. It's costing me subscribers with my podcast, so you'll be hearing from fucking legal real soon, Dick Cheese. Costing me money. That and me parking here in Manhattan in a garage at $50 a pop. I literally pulled in and guy goes, this was probably a year ago. I was visiting somebody in Manhattan. The guy goes, how long are you going to be? I go, I don't know, about an hour and a half. I go, how much is that? He goes, $50. I said, just don't come in my ass, okay, fella? Of course, he didn't get that. It was lost in translation because he's been in the country 11 minutes from Yemen and just fucking, he did the fake, fucking. 866-969-1969. Not that I've, said anything you want to call in yet, but I'll just throw that out there. 866-969-1969 is the phone number. As I'm coming in here into the studio, everybody's like, did you see the Kathy Griffin? And I'm like, I heard. I didn't fucking, I take 8 minutes off from the news today and, something outrageous happens. If you want to call it outrage, this is about normal for her. This is it's a picture of Kathy Griffin. If you don't know who she is, she's Carrot Top, only with more testosterone. And too bad, because I've met her a few times. We've been on shows together, and always cordial. But I'm sure as soon as I turn my back, like most lefties, she probably went, what a fucking fascist, But she's holding up a fake Trump head covered in blood, detached from the body, and I guess some really edgy photographer, Tyler Shields. I'm sure he's known for his edgy photography. If that's fucking edgy. How about I hold up a shrunken head of Obama? Wouldn't that be a little edgier? Show me that. That would be fucking edgy. Where's that photographer? Yeah. So during the photo shoot, Kathy joked that she and Tyler would need to move to Mexico once the pics got released for fear they'd be thrown in prison. Yes, because we've seen so much of that from the Obama administration. It's, from the Trump administration. It's the righties. It's us on the right who are cracking down on free speech and nonsense like that. Right, Kathy? Trump's critics have skewed him for inciting violence with his speech. Did Kathy do the same? First of all, where did this come from? TMZ? Mm-hmm. Was it? Mm-hmm. Trump's critics have skewed him for inciting violence with his speech. Did Kathy do the same? So already they've drawn a conclusion that's fact, that Trump has increased the violence with his speech. Really? I remember the fucking knockout game when Obama. Remember fucking old white guys getting knocked out by young black guys on the sidewalk? Anybody put a stink up there? And then anybody who wore a Trump hat during the election got his face kicked in. And that's still happening, by the way. And then there's Berkeley, where they break shit and fucking actually hurt a woman who was going to speak there. Had to go to the hospital. But it's Trump who incites the violence, right? Okay. 866-969-1969. But Kathy Griffin, again, I try to give these people the benefit of the doubt. I've met her a few times, and, by the way, I'd fuck that head that she's holding before hers. Anybody else? Raise your hands out there. Raise your goddamn hands. Didn't she do something outrageous on New Year's Eve? Doesn't CNN have her hosting with Cooper Anderson, and they can pretend to fucking... Remember?
Yeah, made out or something.
Made out? No, she said some horse shit.
Grabbed his dick.
Grabbed his dick. He's got a clit, number one. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't remember.
She said some outrageous shit. 866-969-1969. Call in either way if you're for this type of shit or against it. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying, I like this type of nonsense if we could do it both ways.
Right.
I'd like to take a fucking head Nancy Pelosi's skull or, anybody. How about Maxine Waters? They hold up a little head, her covered in blood. That would be more appropriate. But to insinuate that Trump is inciting violence with his speech when we know the fucking left are out of control because they lost the biggest election of their life. Again, I saw Hillary in the woods. This time she was taking a shit behind a pine tree. And I said, Chubby, what are you doing? Come on, Chubby. What the fuck you doing?
What the hell's going on out here?
Yeah, fucking skank. Anyways, that's a coke sniff. Cocaina. Kathy, oh my God, she's not aging well at all.
No.
Holy fucking moly. She was no piece of ass when she was in her prime, but Jesus, hey, I'm serious. The Trump face on that head is a little better than hers. They look like they could be related there. But, that's just inciting violence. And, but that Tyler Shields, he's known for some edgy shit. I think he did my wedding. That's me crumpling paper. It's part of the show, folks. Theater of the mind. Let's go to Nick on line 1 in Florida. Nick, how are you? Welcome to my show, the Nick DiPaolo Show. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Nick. I love the show, man.
You should. It's really fucking edgy.
Yeah, I personally don't agree with your politics.
Yeah, well, why don't you fucking smarten up, Nick?
Yeah, well, but I respect. I respect it.
I hear you.
But Kathy Griffin.
Yeah.
I'm from Tallahassee.
I'm sorry.
Been a huge Florida State fan my whole life.
I love Florida State.
Yeah, she came to the powwow, which is like their big thing they do, and she's supposed to do a stand-up, and I don't know where the hell she thought she was, but she got up on stage and finally said, oh, Seminoles, oh, you guys are all racist or whatever, but she did a whole thing about it on The Tonight Show, too. She got booed off stage. She didn't say that part, but the thing is, she didn't bother to take the time. These people, they call people racist so fast. We've had a close relationship, the university, with the Seminole tribe. We don't call ourselves the Seminoles because, we're trying to break the rules. We have a close relationship. They have, scholarships and stuff set up, and we learned all the history, of the Seminole tribe.
Yes.
And we know more about them than she ever will, and she's so willing to call everybody racist.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
Well, and again, I've met her, and we're both comedians, and and she's always cordial. But that's what they do; they're cordial to your face, and then you turn around, and there won't be any blowback. What are they going to do? Fire her from? What is she doing right now? She's probably on A&E hosting some fucking modeling competition or whatever.
I don't know. Every couple of years when the wife is watching, I swear I see her on RuPaul's Drag Race contestant. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're probably...
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it. Love the show, man.
You got it, Nick. Thanks, brother. She goes to the campus of Florida State and goes, "You're all racist because Seminoles and the fucking simpletons." And if you stay in Hollywood long enough, whether you're on the D list or the A list or the G list, you're going to turn retarded. Trust me. Swimming in PC retardedness. You know why? Because that's where a lot of it comes from. You don't get any more PC than our pop culture, do you? No, you don't. And that's where that crap is made. 866-969-1969. And again, I hate to, but I'm sick of pretending to like these people. Because God knows if somebody held up a head of Obama or whatever, Pelosi, pick any of you fucking Maxine Waters, there'd be hell to pay. But, she'll be back. Matt in Virginia. What's going on, Matt? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. It's not often that I can sit back and listen to a radio show and completely agree 100% with it. But goddamn, you opened up tonight, and I am 100% on board, brother.
Well, I appreciate that, sir. It's hard to argue with what she did, but go ahead.
Well, the thing is that what everybody fails to remember is that every time that there's been an election, there's always been some form of hubbub about something. But not once was there ever anybody during Obama's campaign that was inciting violence, quote unquote, but yet there was tons of violence against the people that weren't supporting Obama.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we are in a situation in this country right now where there is such a divided line where you have police officers that are afraid to do their fucking job for fear of repercussions.
Yep.
We have politicians that are I'm not saying that he's 100% perfect, but goddamn, he's just trying to tell everybody, look, there's a lot of dumb shit going on. We need to fix it. And I'm not agreeing 1,000% with what he's doing or saying.
Right.
But he's not a politician. At the end of the day, the man was never once ran on the platform of being a politician. He ran on the platform of being a businessman.
Right.
And the United States of America is 100% a business. We've got money coming in and money going out, and he's trying to say, we got too much shit going out and not enough staying at home. Let's fix this shit and make it happen. Well,
yeah. And people deep down really don't like this country. They won't admit it to your face, but
yep.
They're all for a one world government, globalists. And what the hell was that? Somebody getting?
It's my wife calling in on my work phone. I'm calling you from my personal.
All right, Matt. Well, I appreciate the call, brother. Take care. Let's go to Brian in Georgia. He says Trump's words are the source of the violence. Brian, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Nick? First, I'm glad you're on, man. This is way better than listening to like 6 hours of goddamn replays. So I'm really glad you're on.
Brian. You guys know more about the stations than I do. I swear to God, I didn't even know who was on before me, but they have a good lineup here, and But go ahead.
Now, so like I was telling the call guy, it's just a confusion of the language. Like, it's the people inciting the violence are the ones actually conducting it. The catalyst is certainly Trump's speech. I mean, there's no doubt about that. People are upset with it. But
which speech? Whoa! What? Are you talking about a specific speech? Or are you saying
no.
His language in general?
General term, yeah. The way he addresses issues, people are clearly upset with it. That's fine. That can be the catalyst for the violence, but it's not the actual inciting of it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It goes back, if you look at the LA riots at that point too,
yes.
The verdict certainly was the catalyst, but that didn't cause goddamn. I mean, the inciting was the people lighting fucking buildings up.
Yes.
I mean, that's.
Yes.
It's crazy how it's reported these days.
Well, yeah, but, somebody, and here you go. I don't remember the right reacting violently to fucking, and they had plenty to in the 8 years of Obama. I mean, but, so.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, brother. Yeah, with that was the other point I was going to make. When the right has something that they're violent in response to, which is rare, it's never that the left agenda was inciting violence. It's look at these conservatives inciting all this violence. It's never, the catalyst on the left side is never responsible for actually inciting it. It's always blamed on the conservatives conducting the violence. But when it's flipped, it's the conservatives that are inciting the violence, and the left is just reacting to it.
Well, yeah. I mean, remember they painted the Tea Party as crazy right-wing extremists. They actually picked up their own trash after having a convention in D.C. Old white people with lawn chairs, and they were the ones that spawned Timothy McVeigh, apparently.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. Well, anyway, I love you, wop son of a bitch. I'll talk to you later.
Well, wop, that's old school racism in Georgia right there. Without papers, folks. I think my parents do have papers. My grandparents, however, I never looked into that. I'd like to go on Ancestry.com, but I can't because my IQ is over 140. Every commercial. Hi, I thought I was Latino and black. Turns out I'm a Swede. Yeah. But TJ, New Jersey, not a fan of the show, but he likes my comedy. And that's good enough for me. TJ, what's going on?
Nick, I love your comedy, but Jesus Christ, this is turning out to a fucking, you're like Paul Green without the charm. How about the fucking feminist? I like to go dicks. Come on, man, Jesus. Is there nothing else in life? Do you get laid? What's going on,
I can't
man?
understand you. What do you get? Hey, quit yelling, stupid. First of all, get a new phone. What do you get, a flip phone from the fucking 40s? Secondly,
it works great.
You... Works great. It sounds
I like the dial. It makes me calm.
Sounds like you're hang gliding right now. That's all right. I don't care. You don't have to like it. Look, you're from Jersey or another dummy in a blue state who's been fucking brainwashed, and you'll wake up someday.
That's what I've been, and you've got a perfect take on the entire political situation.
All right.
I mean, this is,
I can't understand any of this. Thank you. I can't. Could anybody? Could you understand that, Brendan? This one, cocksucker, Joyzy, Springsteen, Stevie Van Zandt, the show. Like your comedy, hang by. Oh, Kathy Griffin. She's trying to get, this is what you do, I guess. I don't know. I never had an agent tell me, you know what? I checked out your analytics on Facebook. You're a little low. Why don't you go punch a baby and put it on Facebook Live and go viral? But people do desperate shit. To get seen, and I mean, she's lucky that and she's kind of funny because she attacks people, showbiz people, and I kind of get a kick out of some of her stories. But see, you stay out there, you get fucking brainwashed, Anyways, let's go to Jose in California. Jose, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, Nick, thank you for taking my call. Love your show. Fuck the last caller. Okay?
I love that. I love that fucking Latino accent from California. Fuck that last caller, man.
Yeah, fuck him and his cheap ass phone, okay? Hey, love your show. Anyways, I wanted to bring this up to you. Remember all those fucking bosses that wanted to move out of the country when Trump became the president?
Yes.
I'm still waiting.
Yes, they were going to go to Canada, but Canada said, look, all these chicks are too fat. Lena Dunham, fucking Rosie. They're going to fucking sink us down into Michigan.
Probably Mexico probably didn't want him either.
Oh, no, Mexico would never take these broads, There wouldn't be a tortilla left in your country after these fucking cornmeal-eating chowder heads.
Take that Kathy Griffin piece of shit out there, too.
It's too bad. Like I said, I don't dislike her personally, but now, if you're gonna pull this shit, don't you dare ever talk about somebody on the right doing something. Oh, that was racist or sexist, misogynist. I'd like to see somebody holding her head up on a stick. A fake one, not a real one, not yet.
Keep up the good work. Okay?
Thank you. Appreciate it, brother. I'm telling you. Take care, Jose.
I'll fucking smash his fucking face in.
866-969-1969. Mm-hmm. Let's go to Stokely in Missouri. Stokely. That's a great.
Nick, how you doing?
That's a good name, brother. Are you black or white?
White dude.
I don't know. I always think Stokely Carmichael, or am I making that up?
No, that's what my mom claims now, but it's really a family name. But,
okay.
She's... Anyway, it's the first time I ever agreed with you, man. I love your show.
Thank you, Stokely.
Just don't agree politically, but
all right.
We need to have a more open discussion about this kind of shit.
Yes, we do.
But
that's how we break down barriers.
I agree completely with this Kathy Griffin thing. First of all, I've never liked her. You have to watch Bravo around the clock to understand her stand-up.
There you go.
It's just something girls force dudes to watch when you're dating. Like one of the many things you have to do to get ass these days.
Yeah.
Or at least maybe 20 years ago, because I don't think any girls these days watch her. But do you think this is more like a publicity stunt of an aging comedian, or do you think she actually feels this way? Because I feel like a lot of her stuff is shock value put on just to get her name in the press. Let's face it.
Let's go with let's go with the former. Let's say it's a publicity stunt. There's other ways of getting the publicity. Show us your dick. You know what I mean? She could show us her dick and her big red balls, and that would get a ton of, you know what I mean? But this is how you get attention by, holding Trump's head up. I mean, there's a million ways to do it. Let
I
me,
think more
Stokely.
people look at Trump's head than her dick.
Stokely, let me ask you. So you disagree with my politics, but what is so outrageous about my politics? What I mean, do you buy into this whole Russian collusion thing? Aren't they? Isn't this a bunch of horseshit? They have no evidence at this point. And again, this weekend I watched the Sunday shows, and you got Clapper and all these guys, high up Democrats. And intel people who have no bias saying, no, we don't have any evidence. For Christ's sake, I mean, come on. This is a witch hunt, no?
Nick, you're asking me on the wrong week, man. I've been traveling for work. I'm originally from Louisiana.
Okay.
I normally would want to dive into this with you,
yeah.
but I'm not prepared for that one.
All right.
Today, and I don't want to get into it. But yeah, just normally, I feel like sometimes your show leans a little bit more towards, I'm not saying you personally, but sometimes some of the callers or whatever, seems a little bit like, when's the white man going to get a chance kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe a lot of the censorship is coming from the left. I'm just a pretty liberal guy, social policy, and I believe there's a lot of smoke and mirrors that can come up to like divide people.
Right.
So I'm kind of a little wary of that. But
yes.
I do like your comedy. I love your show. I love the discussion.
All right.
On it. So don't get me wrong on that.
No, I appreciate that, man. Oh, thank you, Stokely. Call back.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Yeah.
Keep the good work.
Appreciate it. And it's not the white man. When's he going to get a shot? Nobody's saying that. It's saying just don't fucking tread on this side for shit that happened years ago. Okay, I had nothing to do with it. My grandparents are from fucking Italy. Okay, but I'm lumped in with the white European males on Columbus Day who gave the Indians a blanket with some fucking dirt on it. And, that's not the fucking message here. What's fair? We point out the double standards. It's more cultural than political, too. You know what I mean? About tearing down statues of white guys and shit. I mean, it's really embarrassing. 866-969-1969. But come on, Kathy, really?
Who said that?
I did.
Who the fuck said that? Who's the slimy little communist shit twinkle-toed cocksucker down here who just signed his own death warrant?
Anderson Cooper? No, Kathy Griffin.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
Hey, we got, in a few minutes, we got my buddy at the bottom of the hour, as they say in radio, Joey List, a young, fine fella from Whitman, Massachusetts, made the move down here, and he's a funny SOB. He was on Conan, and we talked about him. I had Colin Quinn on Friday, and I introduced Colin to Joe, and they've been dating for I'd say almost a year now. It's very embarrassing. But, no, funny guy. He's going to be in here, and we'll talk to him. 866-969-1969 is the phone number. And, yes, she's probably doing it for publicity, but there's a million ways to do it. This is just outrageous to me, the way the president is being treated. From Kathy Griffin to Chuck Schumer and everybody in between. You've lost your fucking collective minds because you thought you were going to win that fucking election, and the thick-ankle dog face let you down, even after she cheated Bernie Sanders, socialist moron. Even after... Brendan just cringed. This whole I actually like Bernie, too. I like a curmudgeon from New England. You know what I mean? I don't believe in his politics, but he's fucking more honest than the thick-ankle dog face. It will be. Mike in Wisconsin on line 2. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Thank you, Nick. How are you?
Oh, I thought you met some.
Well, I just wanted to say, man, I heard you on Wilcow. I've been binge listening to the past shows, and I re-upped my XM subscription because of you today.
Oh, that means a raise for me.
I was going to let it go, and I enjoy the show so much, I actually shelled out another $250.
Wow. Mike, you got that kind of money? What are you doing in Wisconsin? Let me guess, corn?
This and that, man, trying to keep a roof over my head and my family fed. You know how it is.
I really don't. I don't have a family. I don't have a roof. I live in a pop tent.
Well, there you go. Then a box will do.
A box will do. That was my caption on my high school picture. A box will do.
Enjoy the show a lot. Just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you, Mike. And move to a state.
Really
actually, thank you, Mike. Wisconsin came around this time. Brendan in Long Island. Brendan, welcome to the show. I have a summer home in Shirley.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good. I agree with Trump on one major thing that most Long Islanders have to deal with: the Long Island Railroad.
Oh yes. Horrible.
Most of the politicians in New York, have been trying to get this pile of crap fixed.
Yes.
And you made a lot of people laugh this morning on the train. I was playing your podcast. while I was stuck in the tunnel for 4 hours.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Was it?
A lot of people are laughing because of you. So, you may get a couple more subscriptions.
Yeah. So, but you don't agree with Trump on anything else other than the Long Island Railroad?
I do. I try to. I follow politics. I'm fairly young, so not fairly young, but I did vote for him.
Okay.
I want to see the country go in a better direction.
It will. As soon as these jerk-offs like Wolf Blitzer get off our back. Thank you, Brendan, for the call. Hey, folks, when we come back, we get the very funny Joseph List. I call him Joe E. List, like Joe E. Lewis back in the day. Very funny fella. He'll be in there, and we'll take more of your calls. We'll talk we'll talk comedy, politics, whatever you want to talk about. 866-969-1969. Back after this.
You're listening to the Nick DiPaolo Show on Faction Talk, Sirius XM 103.
And now, back to the Nick DiPaolo Show on Sirius XM, Faction Talk 103.
Yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with a very funny Joe List. He'll be performing at the Cap City Comedy Club in Austin, Texas, this Wednesday through Saturday night. For tickets, go to comedianjoelist.com. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Joe List Comedy. Check out his podcast, Tuesday with Stories, with his co-host, the very funny Mark Norman. New episodes available every Tuesday on iTunes.
Yeah.
And come see me this Thursday night, me and Big J. Okerson at the Seneca Resort and Casino, the Bears Den in Niagara Falls, New York. And then I'll be at the Ha Comedy Club Friday, June 2nd. And then Friday and Saturday, June 9 and 10th, Hilarities in Cleveland. Go to nickdip.com. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Nick DiPaolo. And the store is open at nickdip.com if you want to get podcast stuff, hats and T-shirts. Nice stuff, too, by the way. All righty, then. Did you see this? Radical feminists, they say rad femmes. I think it's all. They're campaigning for a period emoji. Period, as in I'm having my period this week.
I'd be okay with that because that way I can describe my shits during the 03 ALCS a little better.
But I mean, where does it stop, ladies and gentlemen? You feminists, and again, I don't want to come around. I'm not a woman hater. I don't like women who try to speak for other women, and again, the real hardcore feminists. They look like, let's be honest, Kathy Griffin. They're obsessed with their own vaginas because nobody else was.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Sarah wouldn't like that, would she? She getting to you? We're gonna have to have a talk. No, I'm just saying. Really. Ooh, an emoji. Look at but you see the
What's
pictures.
The emoji? No,
the emoji
it.
is the emojis. Google it. It's just like it's panties with red dots and shit.
Oh, that's fun.
It is fun, but it makes me hungry at the same time.
Sounds like Japanese panties.
Yes, it does. Look like the Japanese flag. But look, they got
stiff panties over
there.
They
got the fucking pad. I mean, what? Can they relax? Do they ever stop thinking about their own box? I ask you, Larry King. Hello.
I like these ones. I like the period panties. I like the real. I mean, the emoji I can take or leave, but I just love a pair of period underwear.
Okay, so when they have a yeast infection, they're gonna put up breadsticks. I mean, where does this shit stop, ladies and gentlemen? And again, I'm not a feminist myself, but I understand how it came about. But it's turned into a anti-male hating machine. And they've lost their fucking mind. Just listen, I'm going to play a couple feminists. This is the kind of women it's produced. If I was a guy and I was a millennial, I'd cut my wrist having to listen to broads like this.
Clip. If you shut the fuck up and let me read my list, there's the fucking proof.
And so I obviously can't
So, number one, shut the fuck up for a second. Feminists do not want you to lose custody of your children. The assumption that women are naturally better caregivers is part of goals, thus minimizing their earning potential as their traditional marriages end. The assumption I'm reading, fuckface. I'm trying to fucking, I'm letting everybody else hear it, okay? It's not just for you, Mr. Entitled.
Oh, God.
Problem. You're the fucking problem. You fucking Dr. White, onking jamrag, ucking spunk bubble. I'm telling you, H, you keep looking at me, I'm going to put you in the fucking ground. I promise you. Not this time.
Oh, they're just angry, humorless. They didn't fit in. And they're taking it out on you and me, Joe.
What was the context of that? I didn't.
That was at some feminist rally at a college campus a few years ago, and a guy was trying to read his part, and she was upset he was going first, and that's not an exception to the rule. That is the fucking rule. The hateful eight. Wait a minute. I see why Joe. I just dawned on me why Joe's looking at me funny. Him and Soto were at the women's march. But you were trying to get laid. Let's be honest.
I'm not sure what the context.
I just
is,
filled
but,
it in. They're cunts on college campuses everywhere.
But yeah, she seemed annoying. I don't want people to tell me to shut the fuck up, men or women.
But you can't tell me that a woman today, like I'm talking to, these modern day feminists. No, I'm all for a guy can't go, hey, blow me or I'm going to fire you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anything else less than that goes.
No, I'm not getting paid, but I'll be happy to blow you.
But I'm just saying, there's an angry, cold, the people who take this shit in, ingest it, and they turn it into their life's cause. I've had girl comedian female friends even admit that it's gotten a little too anti-male, even for their flavor.
For sure.
Would you agree?
Yes, it feels very anti-male, and particularly it feels anti-white male.
Oh, Christ, yes.
And straight male, yes.
Yes.
A lot of it. Yeah.
You're in that age. Well, you went to the march. Was it you and Soda?
Yeah, we were there. It was fun.
I know.
We had a good time.
I know. I looked at hours and hours of footage. It wasn't a girl there. I'd stick my thumb in. I got to be honest with you.
Oh, no. There was some hot girls.
Were there some hot ones?
Yeah, of course.
You like a mullet, do you?
I mean, we were
big
in Portland,
green teeth and no tits.
No, but certainly I'm pro
I know
choice and women's rights and reproductive bullshit, all that shit. So yeah, there's a lot of things that
that you agree with.
People are threatening to take away, but yeah, there's certainly stuff that's fucking retarded, ridiculous.
They're blaming us for everything. It seems like it's become more mainstream. Those thoughts that were considered on the fringe to me seem a lot more mainstream today. And I just can't see another commercial with a woman hitting a heavy bag.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
A lot of female anger in commercials, lashing out at the husband.
Right, and plenty of movies where the women is kicking all the men's ass, which I always find fascinating because I'm like, well, physically, you are inferior. That's not, that is science. But the rest of the stuff I'm on board with, and Trump stinks and all that.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
But certainly there's women that could beat me up. I understand that. People always want to point that out when you talk about it. They're like, what about Ronda Rousey? She'd kick your ass. I'm like, certainly.
Yeah.
But I'm not
a fighter. I'm not a professional fighter. So what you want to do when you make that, and for you idiots out there who buy into that shit, what you want to do is take a guy who has the same experience as her, same weight class and shit. Then you make the comparison.
Right.
As pointing to Joe List, a headliner in comedy, guy who bleeds from his ass when he watches the Red Sox. I mean, you know what I mean? The comparison, it's apples and oranges. You got to go with apples and apples, is all I'm saying. Let's go to Dan in Louisiana. Dan, welcome to the show.
Here we go.
Hey, it was, first of all, I wanted to call the other day because you were picking on Maxine Waters, and I was like, I agreed with you again, and I was going to have to lose my liberal card listening to the show too much because she is dumber than a box of rocks.
Oh, my God.
But the thing is that with the clip you just played with the feminist, I mean, the point that she was making there was one that, I think is a solid point that should be made, was that, part of the problem with society is that they view women as caretakers, as the one that are supposed to be home with the kids, and that's kind of a view that feminists are trying to fight against, traditional, stereotypical gender roles that keep, women as kind of, not having equality in this country. And part of the problem with that view is that men are not likely to have a good shot in custody hearings to get joint custody or even get full custody based on the situation. So in that particular thing that woman was talking about, it's trying to counteract the idea that that women aren't fighting for rights for men in feminism, because in that particular situation, a man will have a better shot in a child custody case if we drop the idea that women are supposed to be the people that raise children.
Yeah, I think they should. They make good sandwiches too. No, that's a joke.
I understand that.
I know, but here's my problem, Dan. If you watch a sitcom or a movie, they'll always have, and it's usually like Joe said, it's the white boss saying shit to a woman in the office that guys haven't said since the 50s. If you watch shows even today, set in 2017, they use this anachronistic dialogue that no guy uses, and it's just tiring. Nobody thinks girls should be barefoot in the kitchen, except for maybe a few of your friends in Louisiana. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, no. In Louisiana, we have plenty of those archaic views that are down here, and where you live, it's probably much better and much more progressive. And so, what you're seeing as the extreme is, but we have and there are extremist idiots in every side. Maybe there is a better, more a better thing to work on than a period emoji on your iPhone, but yes. I'd rather that extremist than the extremists on the right who are trying to make sure that gay people can't adopt or that gay people can't have the same custody rights or whatever, which is actually going through in Louisiana.
Yeah, and how's that working out? I mean, are they really having any success for the last?
They're still trying to fight for that in Louisiana in the legislature, in the current legislature.
All right, that's Louisiana, but how about in the United States?
Well, in the United States, we've made good progress, but and we have people that drag their heels, like the South.
Okay.
I'm with Dan. Dan, you're a great guy, and anytime you want to come over, and I'll make sandwiches for you.
That was Joe
List. I appreciate that.
You're a smart
Dan is
man.
a good guy. He's a liberal, and he's called in a couple times, and we appreciate it. Thank you, Danny.
You have a good one.
Thanks, brother. No, my point is, but it's that same, same with the slavery thing will never go away. Now, you ask feminists, and a lady from the Now organization said this in an interview like 5 years ago. Somebody asked them about how men are portrayed in commercials, and she goes, it's payback for how women were portrayed in the 50s. I Googled every goddamn thing. I think I saw one guy complain about his wife's coffee in a commercial. I mean, there's just it's an outright hatred of men. I saw one today. They always lump the husband in with the kids and the dog. The wife's like, oh, I have to use this counter spray because my kids, the dog, my husband.
No, there's a few comedy blockbuster, I won't name names or directors, but a bunch of blockbuster comedies where literally 100% of the men are bumbling fucking idiots or
it's role reversal.
Rapists or murderers.
Absolutely.
Or they're just like, oh, I can't leave my house because I'm a nerd and fucking idiot. And then they say that like, well, that's payback. That's how we were portrayed. Well, you're like, but that's not really what you should be striving for. You should have it equal where either the guys are getting made fun of, you're getting made fun of, or it's not just you had it better, so now you have to have it worse.
Right.
That's like a child who they break a toy, so they have to break the sibling's toy. It doesn't.
Right.
It's not what you should be longing for.
Whether it's race or gender, everybody's in this retribution mode as opposed to reconciliation mode.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. And it's just fucking tiring. I mean, commercial after commercial. And is there anybody busier than a soccer mom in a commercial? I got to be my kid's dentist. I have to take him to softball. In the face. And some of them now, you don't even see the fucking father's not even mentioned. But it's like, let it go with the anger. It's always the heavy bag. I don't care if the commercials for donuts, tampons, Buicks. There's always a chick hitting a heavy bag.
Buicks.
Yeah, Buick, I know. Did I just say a Buick? Do they still sell those?
Remember my 87 Buick Century?
Did I ride in that?
Yeah. You might have drove it at one point. At one point I counted, that was in the drinking days, of course. I had like 35 different people had driven my car.
Is that right?
I was too drunk to drive it.
Yeah.
But I'd still rather be a man, I guess,
Yeah, but but you said you'd rather be a man, meaning what, though? That implies that we do have it better, or just that, or maybe...
Well, I just don't want to be dumb and inferior. I mean... I'm joking, of course.
No, I love it. That's Joey Lit.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, now, Sarah seems like where is Sarah from? This is talking about Joe's fiance.
She's from Houston, but she was born in South Africa. So technically I'm dating an African-American. I could say the N-word if I wanted to, but I choose not to.
Oh, goodness, great. Do you say that on stage?
No.
I was getting a little nervous. She's the nicest, Sarah's just a nice, soft-spoken, funny, and she did a great job on Colbert.
Yeah, she's great. She's a great comedian person and smart as a whip. and she lets me make love to her.
Well, you and a few other people. Listen, what? What? You met her at the OTB, didn't you? She was drunk and she threw a cup of coffee at your head or something? She is. She's from, you said Houston.
Houston, yes.
Yeah.
I said Houston. You said Houston.
Didn't I say Houston?
No, you said Houston.
I could have said Houston. Fucking Houston Street.
She's
we
from
all know
Houston.
it's Houston.
And wonderful comedian and a great person.
And Joe's going to marry her on August 19th.
Yes, be there. You're all invited. And it's going to be the best 11 years of my life.
It's in East New York at the Holiday Inn Express. It's where Tyson knocked out an old lady and stole her bread. And
because Pasigian passed away.
Let's go to Rick in Georgia on line 6. Rick, welcome to the show. Say hi to Joey List.
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Rick?
Oh, I'm just doing good, man. You know, I was just going to say, some of you guys, liberal guys, are y'all really believe what you say, or is it just to try to get some pussy?
Which thing did I say that you think was not believable?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, you don't. Exactly.
How a damn straight white man can be a fucking Democrat. But anyway, I was calling because
that doesn't make
this whole
sense.
Women's issue. Well, it does make sense.
Go ahead.
Because there's but I was just calling because I was wondering, I don't have a problem with any of this feminism stuff, but where my issue is that all these women on the left, they rant and rave about equality, but boy, as soon as something goes wrong, oh, I'm a woman, you can't do that to me. I'm like, fuck, do you want equality or do you want to be a fucking woman? Which one?
Now, when you say when something goes wrong, like when you get them in a headlock, you mean in your bedroom?
Oh, yeah, when you fucking smack them around and they call the police, you know, no, I'm kidding.
I know. Come on, Rick.
Any type of issue, and then Donald Trump, I want to be equal. And then, Donald Trump's going to say something, and treat you like he treats men. And then, you can't treat me like that because I'm a woman.
Well, yes, some of them do that. Some women do that. They take advantage of that. It's a good point. I don't know what the percentage is. I'll look it up. Rick, thank you. But they do that. They want their cake and they want to eat it too, What's it? Mark Norman's bits are great.
Yeah.
About, what was it? About job titles and something about, you're the woman. You should do the cooking. What's he say? Remember? How come your jobs are...
Oh, your stereotypes are all... Pause. I can't remember the joke.
Sorry I brought it up.
But I don't understand what... He said a straight white man could vote Democrat. I mean, what is that? That doesn't even make sense.
A little bit. I mean, that means you would have voted for Hillary Clinton. I can't square that with anybody.
But I mean, a straight voting Democrat in general. I mean, can't I? If I'm not gay, can't I have compassion for gay people and want them to have the rights? Can I have compassion for?
Now you're falling back on that old stereotype that the Republicans don't have compassion for gay people.
But that's what he said. I'm not talking about what people are saying. I'm talking about this specific guy that can't understand how a straight white man could vote Democrat. First of all, there's millions of them that are.
I know, but turning into women. No, I know. I think he was speaking about this election, the choices, and, you've been back to our hometown, haven't you?
Yes. I just love that he goes, I don't know how, do you actually believe these things? What things? I don't know. So you're just making a general argument that you've made to someone else.
First of all, he said, you liberal guys, lumping me in too, and you. Did he know what show he was calling? Had he heard 5 minutes of this?
He sounds like a good guy. I'm not one of these all Republicans are evil guys either. I like you and.
No, I know, but you believe that they don't have the best interest of like minorities and poor people, which has been working. It's been a fucking mantra of the left, and it's been working. I see why they still say it, but I don't think it's true after reading 1,000 books. But I want a panty with blood on them, and let's go to Billy. Let's go to I'm sorry, Michelle.
Let's get a woman in here.
I'm looking for one. Here's Michelle in Minnesota.
Here we go.
Michelle Bachman. Hello.
Hey, Nick. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. You're right there on my list of new celebrity boyfriends, just so you know.
Ooh, how old are you? What do you weigh?
35 and 125.
Close enough.
So I guess I was just kind of trying to call about Dan, and he was making a point about the South and what they were trying to push through the Senate and about gays not being able to adopt and stuff like that.
Yes.
And we're talking about these stupid emoji panties.
Yes.
And I agree. I love gay people. I think they should be able to adopt. But at least the people that are disagreeing with gay people adopting are pushing for what they think that they believe in. Like, they're out there doing something. Making emoji with period stains in it is not doing anything. It's not pushing any agenda. It's like so ass backwards. I mean, I cannot agree with what somebody's doing, but if at least they're productively pushing their agenda forward, makes them productive.
Okay.
Well, Michelle, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but by that rationale, Hitler, good for him. At least he's pushing what he believes in. He's taking action for his beliefs. Murdering, Jews.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess that's... I'm not trying to argue that... I agreed. I'm just saying that they're not going to get it voted in anyway. My point is at least they're being productive and pushing their agenda instead of standing there doing something as stupid as saying that women should be feminist. And the way that this feminist movement has moved from what it was to what it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Women have so many more rights than men. I can kill my unborn child if I want to without any man's knowledge or anything. Regardless if you want that baby, I can kill it. You're not your choice.
In some places, they're battling for you not to have that right. In a lot of places,
Yeah,
still.
but they've been battling since 1974. It ain't going to happen. You guys won that one.
Agreed. I mean, I think it's horrendous. I don't think that women should be able to just go out murdering children because they don't want them.
Well, you've never flown Delta with fucking 3 kids sitting behind you, kicking the back of the seat.
It's also not murder, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, that's your opinion, that it's not murder.
I mean,
Certainly.
I see women having more rights than men. The only right that I see that I don't have is I can't walk around topless in public. That's the only right.
And that's
You can in New York.
That's what you can here in New York.
Move to New York.
You should do that on the Puerto Rican Day Parade. They love it.
You know what you do have the right to do? Send me a text of your bosoms.
That I'm not good on top, but I got an ass that can put most people to shame.
Oh, all right, Michelle.
Nelly, I'll take both.
Thank you.
I actually was.
Go ahead.
I was actually on the bonfire talking to them, and I did send them a picture, and they said it belonged on Lowrider magazine. So.
No, that's Lowrider magazine. So the Latino fellas will like it.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michelle.
I didn't know War had their own magazine.
Appreciate it. The
War is the band that had the song.
Yes. George Lopez theme made it popular.
Yeesh. Boy, I really nailed it with that Hitler thing. I felt good. I've never won an argument before.
No, that was good.
Wasn't an argument.
No, the reasoning, the reasoning on her part was a little flawed.
She was very sweet, though.
She was sweet. Most of the people on the right are. It's the fucking angry dykes with mutton chops that...
oh, that's crazy. Can't we just admit there's horrible people on both sides?
No, I can't. Right now, there's a lot more on the left. That's how I feel. But yes, but I've been saying this forever to you. Back in the 40s and 50s, yeah, the right was wrong. They were on the wrong side of race and civil rights, and
right.
I'm saying now you guys are those people, shutting down speech, busting up fucking people, fucking burning down colleges, breaking windows when people disagree.
It's interesting. I do think a lot of people watch, not all, a lot, some watch these old documentaries of the '60s and the movement, and they go, "That seems amazing! How cool to be Martin Luther King and Vietnam!" And we're taking it to the streets. They just don't have as many things to fight for,
legitimate things.
Yeah,
but now
it starts to be like period panties.
But now they want now these groups, these special interest groups, whatever you call them,
special needs.
They want, but they want all black dorms,
right?
You know, they're for fucking segregation on college campuses, and not just I'm not just saying black student, white liberal people who run the campus, are encouraging it. We're going backwards. I mean, they sound like George Wallace. They want separate everything. That's identity politics. That doesn't come from the right, and that's what's hurting us, in my opinion.
That's fascinating.
For the last few years,
the freedom of speech thing has completely flipped sides since the '60s. It's so fascinating.
Yes, it has. Let's go to what is it, Maddie in Vancouver.
Hey, Nick.
What's up, brother?
Hey, man, you know what? I just wanted to thank you for being you. I live in a super liberal city in Canada, and it's hard to be a right-wing white guy here. And you know what? Your view is something new, and I really want to thank you for it.
Well, I appreciate it. I've been to Vancouver. What a beautiful... Joe, you been in Vancouver?
I've been there a few times. It's one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
It is. It's very...
gorgeous.
Yes. But you're saying it's pretty liberal in its politics, is it?
is pretty liberal, and it's pretty racist against white people. And, you know, I get called a racist all the time for claiming that racism against white people exists. You know, you go into a Chinese restaurant and don't get served because you don't speak the language. And it's like, well,
That's happening. That happened to you.
You
went to a Chinese restaurant and they wouldn't serve you. That's a real story. You're being 100% honest.
That's happened more than once.
More than once.
That's happened quite a few times.
Chinese are different in Canada than here.
Wow.
They could be angry.
Well,
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
If you go into, there's like a little part of Vancouver called Richmond, and it's mostly Asian groups, and, you know, all four of them coming here, nice people. But a lot of them are pushing for no English on the signage, only Chinese writing. And it's like, you know, I grew up here. How am I supposed to live in my old neighborhood if I can't read anything? What's going on?
Yeah. That's called anti-assimilation. Thank you, Maddie, for the call. Vancouver's awesome. Appreciate it.
Love the city. I was in. I went on a boat tour in Key West, and there was a bunch of Chinese. I don't know. They might not have been Chinese. They were Asian. I think they were Chinese. And the deckhand, she goes, "Watch out for the boom. It's a sailboat. You know, it moves."
Yeah.
She goes, "Watch out for the boom. It moves. It might hit you." And she goes, "Oh, it's dangerous." She just kind of shit on it right to her face.
Who did that?
The Asian woman. I couldn't believe it. It was like the craziest thing. I don't know if she thought she was being funny or if there was a language. She literally went, "Wah." She's like, "It's dangerous." And the girl was like, all right, Jesus Christ. It was hilarious. We were all dying laughing.
Who used to do the bit, Boston comedian, that the waiters, Chinese waiters, always sounded sarcastic?
I don't know.
Oh, you think.
You think.
You
yeah,
think.
Yeah, yeah.
It is brilliant. We only got a minute left, Joe. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Seriously. I mean, Joe, I look at him like, I tell him, I see him on TV, I see him on Conan. I'm just proud that where you've taken it, man.
Thank you.
And yeah, thanks for coming in tonight. Go see him at Cap City this Wednesday through Saturday in Austin, Texas. And Tuesdays with Stories is his podcast.
Yes.
New episodes available every Tuesday on iTunes. And hit him up at Joe List Comedy on Instagram and Twitter. And thanks for coming in. And that is it, right? Come see me in Seneca on Thursday with Big J. Okerson. It's Nick DiPaolo. I will talk to you kids tomorrow.